in the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands in your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get you fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my at the back that like a pogo. No do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a
Shady! Throwing some shade. It's the coach. And this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see LaShawn McCoy coming up a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Detroit Lions as they get set to square off against the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field, just south of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken short. And he'll take it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Commanding the offense will be the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Here's the now 30-year-old running back, LaShawn McCoy. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Allen off the play fake. Finding some room at midfield. It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
looks to throw on second down. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And now the Lions' defensive starters.
Finishing in the top 10 in the NFL with 12 sacks last year was Ziggy Ansah, and I just absolutely love his backstory. Went to BYU to run track, maybe play some basketball. Instead discovered a game he had never played before, American football. And now look at him, a perennial double-digit sack guy in the league.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills' opening drive yields 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. He'll run it here with Blount. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. On first down at Stafford. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They go play action here on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Trent Murphy in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Stafford now to throw. And this is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's third down.
Had an open man that time. They end up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Third and long. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And here come the Bills. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that.
Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor, and he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Stafford. Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Golden Tate with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on the last drive, but fell incomplete. Breaks the tackle, now Allen. A big play here for the Bills. And even 60 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Now Allen. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. McCoy, the lone man in the backfield on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Love the run right there. And when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Left side completion to Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Bills getting set to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On second down, it's McCoy. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LeSean McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season. And the Eagles, they won a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. But I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Here's Allen. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's
looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. He has been interception-prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is, you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience, and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. 7
yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, here's Stafford. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw, Stafford. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Now Stafford. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here we go with Johnson. And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. Johnson kept out of the end zone on 4th down, and the Bills' goal line stand is going to get him the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now the first carry for the former Jaguar. This is Chris Ivory. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the 2nd half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay, but in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the outside. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes are being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Here's Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage. Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. To throw, it's Allen. He finds Coleman. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Corey Coleman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guy's now just a 2-point conversion away from tying us up. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw is Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. The shotgun snap for Stafford. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down. They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Maualuga. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll try to get the running game going here with Ivory. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
No, check, Patriot! All right, here we go.
Now Allen throwing on second down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Pierre Garçon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Hauschka with the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 46. Operating from the gun. Stafford. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. It's caught. Jones. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line.
On the ball, on the ball.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. And he comes back with one complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Again, it's Stafford. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Throwing is Stafford. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. His throw incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And it's second down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now Allen. Fighting through pressure. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball is not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got there.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll make it third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now McCoy. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills have tied the game here in the fourth. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. They go back to Riddick. And some space here. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Down to the 25. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And his his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end. And now it's second down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those down quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up fourth down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Set! Blue landing!
He'll look to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Charles Tapper in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Charles Clay is tight in the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Now let's go! 3-19!
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. Back to throw. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Tease Tabor. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct, and what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Now the Bills will take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They go to Johnson again. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization. Because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
Yeah, he's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To the air, Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's McCoy. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Detroit, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8.
No introduction really necessary. Get